Hello, welcome back to the Road to Episode 9, my ongoing series where I chart the road to the release of Star Wars Episode 9 in December 2019. And this video is mainly to talk about the fact that Episode 9 has now started filming. They started shooting last week, and the first day of filming was marked by J.J. Abrams making a tweet and sending a set picture from the first day's filming. And I've got it up here just about there. There we go. So I can read it for you, what J.J. Abrams posted along with the image, which I'll put up on screen now. As you can see, it's a shot of the camera filming inside what clearly is the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. There's been a lot of speculation going on based on just this very deliberately out of focus image alone. It's, oh, look at Finn, his hair's different. He's wearing Han's jacket. Is that Rey? Does she have a side braid? What's going on? Who is that in the chair? And I'm just like, it's a shot of the filming the Falcon. It's kind of cool, but I mean, do we really need to analyze it that much? Do we need like a hot take kind of analysis article? Probably not based on that alone, but it is what it is. JJ tweeted, "Bittersweet starting this next chapter without Carrie. But thanks to an extraordinary cast and crew, we are ready to go. Grateful for Rian Johnson and special thanks to George Lucas for creating this incredible world and beginning a story of which we are lucky to be a part of. #9. Now, immediately people jumping in like, oh, I bet Disney forced him to thank Rian Johnson. We know that JJ hates him, really, with that mess he's been left with to fix. The internet, I guess. So it's cool to say they've started shooting. Todd Fisher, Carrie Fisher's brother, has now said in an interview that they're going to be using footage from The Last Jedi as well, which is interesting. And just thinking about that again, the whole Carrie Fisher thing, them bringing her back through archival footage, there's been a lot of discussion about how much CGI they're going to use as far as like putting her into a different scene. Are they going to give her a new outfit? Are they going to change her hair? Like, what are they going to do? Is there going to be any semblance of the actual Carrie Fisher there on screen once they're done with it? And I still think they're not going to go overboard with that kind of thing. People are saying, oh, they'll make her mouth digitally move and, you know, and all this. I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit simpler than that, and maybe people are overthinking it. There has been a lot of talk of the so-called sledgehammer scenes and side plot from The Force Awakens that wasn't in the final film. Apparently, rumored there was this there was this resistance super weapon called the sledgehammer to, I guess, counteract the Starkiller base, but that got left out of the film. Don't know how true that is, but people are talking about that, and her scenes for that could very, very well be used for Episode 9. There are some people who think it could just be a hologram or a flashback even, or who knows. And then if you're dealing with a flashback, then you could certainly be a bit more creative. That would be interesting, certainly since we've seen The Last Jedi use a flashback for the first time in a Star Wars film properly. I guess you can kind of count The Force Awakens as a little bit of a flashback. Actually, it is kind of a flashback. There's a dream sequence where Rey is seeing herself as a young girl, and it's kind of a flashback, I suppose. Anyway, so that's kind of the Episode 9 stuff. They've started filming. The guy who puppeteers BB-8 recently tweeted the other day that he's back to work now and he's excited to do it. Anthony Daniels has been tweeting stuff, saying stuff like, Star Wars Episode 9 spoiler, the catering is delicious today, you know, just fun things like that. And there was something else as well about the whole thing started, and it's gone from my head completely. One thing I can talk about that I haven't really talked about at all was the fact that at Comic-Con this year was the 10-year anniversary celebration of the Clone Wars TV series, of which I've seen only one episode, have the entire Blu-ray set. And I do want to watch it and maybe even talk about it in this series as the road to Episode 9 continues for the next year and a half. But they're bringing it back. They're doing another series of the Clone Wars and apparently finishing up some of the stuff they wanted to do before the show got cancelled. Everyone is very excited about it. I believe it was, in fact, the most viewed or the most talked about, maybe the most tweeted about event of the entire Comic-Con, which is pretty remarkable. It shows you how much people love that show. So I really feel like I do need to get into it and see what the fuss is all about, because it never really appealed to me, to be completely honest. So it wasn't as exciting when I saw the trailer for the new series. I know that a lot of people love this Ahsoka character, and so that reveal at the end was pretty huge to people. I felt like the trailer actually was it was good, but like it felt kind of cheap that they just used the music from the Force Awakens trailer somehow. But you know, I get it. So the Clone Wars is coming back next year, I think, something like that, and probably. In fact, I think it is actually confirmed it will be part of the Disney streaming service that they're going to be releasing at some point, and I hope that more Star Wars content could come to that. It probably is going to be where the live action Star Wars series is going to be released, the Jon Favreau led live action Star Wars series, which is apparently now. Might be a rumor, I'm not sure, but I read online somewhere a couple of days ago that it's going to be a 10 episode series. Each episode will get like a $10 million budget, and the rumor is it's going to be part of the Mandalorian Wars or something like that. Hey, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Everyone and their dog knows it, but I really, I'm not that versed in all this like lore beyond the movies or behind the movies, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I see these things, I'm like, oh, cool. You know, Boba Fett, I guess. I've never really seen the hype with Boba Fett. He looks cool, but I mean, that's about it. So, people losing their minds over this Mandalorian rumor, but I'm just looking forward to seeing how that's going to work in this kind of golden age, the second golden age of television now, where TV show, the quality is just so insanely good. It's quite exciting to think about seeing Star Wars in a live-action TV setting, and it's certainly something George Lucas was looking into doing before he even sold Star Wars. You know, I think in the 2000s, Underworld was the show. I think they had. I saw an interview with Rick McCallum. He said, "We've got all the scripts. We couldn't get, I guess, the money or the studio, but the what's the word? The TV network. That was the word I was looking for. My brain wouldn't give me for 20 seconds there. A network wouldn't pick it up or something like that. Anyway, I feel like, again, there's something I've forgotten in regards to episode 9. I don't think it's anything that interesting, actually, but, you know, we're just hearing these little snippets coming out here and there that they're filming now, and there isn't really anything coming out about what they're filming or anything like that, and I'm still not sure how far I want to go into looking at stuff, because I think the most I saw from episode 8 was the filming in Croatia, where they were filming some of that stuff for the Canto Bight sequence, which ultimately, as much as I enjoy it in the film, it's not really a pivotal part of the movie or gives away all that much. So, you know, I don't feel like anything substantial for the big kind of plot points of episode 9 is going to get leaked online or anything like that. Well, actually, then again, thinking about it, the whole ending of The Force Awakens with Luke being on the island and saying nothing was leaked before the film came out. But I mean, in terms of like set pictures, things like that, you know, I'll try and veer away from things if I see something that might be fairly spoilery. And, you know, again, that's an ongoing thing. How much do I want to know? How much do I not want to know? A lot of that information is out there, potentially, as rumors. I guess it's all up to the individual how much I want to look into it. But yeah, so that's kind of been the recent news. I got it. I remember now. It's a very small thing. And there's another thing. I just remembered that as well. Okay, great. I now don't feel like I'm leaving this video without putting everything in that I want to talk about, even though they're two very minor points. The first one is the last video I did was talking about the cast announcement for Episode 9. It was rumored that Kerry Russell would be a part of the cast, which of course immediately led to she's going to play Rey's mum. You know, obviously Kerry Russell's worked with J.J. Abrams many times in the past, or at least a few times with the TV show she did with him, and also Mission Impossible 3. And it was confirmed that she was a part of the cast, I think, about an hour after they announced the cast. They kind of amended it, the press release, and included her name. Apparently she was finalizing her deal on the day of them announcing the cast, and it just didn't get finalized before that announcement. Anyway, so she's in the film, playing obviously an undisclosed character. Also, Richard E. Grant has been tweeting and stuff. I think I already mentioned that. He's been tweeting about how cool it is, and you know, how he saw Star Wars when it first came out, and things are kind of feeling very full circle for him. So cool to see someone who really loves it and gets a real kick out of being involved in the new film. There we go. That's it. I'm going to leave it there until more Star Wars news crops up. I'm sure more will be cropping up as the film is now in production and so on. And yeah, so that's it. Nothing more to say. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.